Okay, and we are back up. This time we are looking at the game called Evertree Inn, which I forgot to switch to on my phone. Let me do that now. Oops. So this Ponpara is a choice of games, and this is from their parent or their child company called Hosted Games, which is where a lot of people maybe get their start. So that's really neat. Some of my favorite games um, were actually through hosted games, including the Samurai Fayuga games by Devin Connell, who is actually someone I support on Patreon. I highly recommend those games. My other favorite of these games is probably the what is the name of it? Wow, my brain just died. Uh, nope. The oh wow, it's really not there. I just played this game too, so let me find it because it is worth. Unfortunately, I just played through both Hyuga and Exile of the Gods, which is the sequel to the game that I am looking at, or trying to remember the name. Champion of the Gods, that's the name of it. And that one and the Hyuga games are probably two of my favorite series. Unfortunately, I just finished a playthrough of both of those a little bit, not that long ago. I do want to eventually play them on stream because there is so much to talk about in terms of character motivation and agency, and I think they do a very interesting job at both of those things. We will eventually get to them, but not yet, so that'll be in a little bit. Let's make sure that our people are here. Someone's here. Let me. No, I don't think you missed anything. I just went back up. Oh, let me also. I don't know if I can change this midstream. Change which. That way you guys can see. If you can see, can be able to actually see the game. So let's change the sources. See if we can do this here while we are waiting for our other player. Game capture, we're gonna add okay. Alright, so you should, if you have vision, be able to see the game Evertree and up here. You should be able to read it. But we are going to wait for our person who actually specifically requested this game. So, as soon as we have confirmation that they are there, we will begin. Okay, so yes, Two Big Chickens is who has requested this game. Welcome. Now, just for my knowledge, do you use a screen reader, or are you sighted? We're going to call you TBC because two big chickens is a lot to say. So. And thank you for joining us. Oh wait, it says I have 0 viewers, but there's definitely people in the chat. I'm confused. Maybe it's not updated? Let's see. No, it still says 0 viewers. Did I lose the stream? I don't think so. Oh, unless it went down when I... No, it says we're still going. It definitely says 0 viewers though, but I don't think that's right. Yes, DBC it is. Yes. So, do you use a screen reader or do you use Yes, you are still here. Good to know. So let's stream the chat so people can also see this. So I've done a lot of reading physically, like vocally today. If you do use the screen reader, then I will probably just let the screen reader handle this one. Otherwise, I'm happy to. I'll keep reading. But I just need to know whether that is needed. If you would. This is the hold music. It's not very good. Oh, okay. You don't know what a screen reader is. Okay. I will show you really quick just because, why not? Because there's no reason not to. So... Alright, so you should now be hearing a weird robot voice, which is reading what's on my screen to me. Yes, yay learning. Oh, you're not getting it? Oh, I wonder if you can't change that midstream. That's annoying. Let's see. Still not? Still nobody getting the screen reader? Okay, yeah. So the robot voice is what reads my screen to me. It is how blind people use computers, and they're pretty they're pretty dang great. Sorry. I'm going to try really hard to keep most of these streams safe for work, but it is me, so it may not happen. Honestly. So, yeah, that's a screen reader. Since you are not used to understanding them... Yeah, it is super cool. Since you're not used to understanding them, though, I will continue to read, because they do speak at a weird rate, and I get that. So... I'll turn that off for the moment. I really do need to do a tutorial for how to use Open Broadcaster software and Twitch at some point, and I really will. So. Oh, really? Yeah, you use eSpeak. I use Eloquence, and eSpeak sounds much faster to me, but yeah, other people have said that Eloquent sounds faster to them too. So I just find eSpeak really hissy, personally, which is these are two different voices or that read things. So this is a non-general audience discussion, I guess. But yeah, it's yeah, his is a very hardcore robot. It's personal preference. So anyway, we are going to get started on this game since we actually have a sighted person here now. Welcome, you are our first, to my knowledge. Can you actually see the game, the text of the game, and the choices and all of that? Let's not burn the sighted. We like sighted people sometimes, and yeah, they're helpful and kind people, and I appreciate them being on the stream. So, how did you find me? You randomly just reached out to me on Twitter, by the way, and I didn't know you, and really expressed interest. Yeah, a sellout. I guess I am, and really expressed an interest in this game. No, just a blank screen. Even here, it should. It should be showing the game. Oh, okay. So you know, the Kyle Marquis who wrote the first game we were playing. Okay, very cool. That's really neat. Okay. Wow. I almost did not tag him in mentioning the first game that I was playing, so I'm kind of glad I did. That's really neat. All right, so I'm gonna start by reading the description of this game. I don't know why you can't see it. I'm really sorry. I'll try to fix that before the next one, but I don't really want to spend the entire time trying to work with tech things. I will try though, and I'm sorry that you can't see it this time. I'll try to be pretty thorough about reading well, but yeah. So, a mysterious tavern with a deadly secret. Check into this magical tale of murder and mystery, where not everything is as it seems. The noise you hear in the background is my Braille display. It is showing me the text of this game in Braille. So that's how I'm reading this. Most Braille displays aren't this loud, but mine is, so sorry. You can explore the tavern in secret or style, meet and mingle with guests and staff, wield weapons and magic, and uncover clues before the killer strikes again. Evertree Inn is an immersive 265,000 word interactive experience by Tom Bailey. That is THOM space BAYLAY. So maybe Bailey. I'm not actually sure. Blah blah blah. It's fueled by the vast and unstoppable power of your imagination. I said I wasn't going to read that again. So, what will you do when an overnight stay in a highway tavern turns into the biggest mystery of your life? Will you rise to the challenge, or will you resist your destiny? Are you in it for the money, for the thrill of the chase, or are you secretly hoping for romance? Enter an open world where your choices, or where the choices you ignore, matter as much as the ones you explore. Nice little rhyme there, thank you. And where every interaction has a reaction. Choose your path as elf or dwarf, human or halfling, or even the elusive brownies. And find out if you have what it takes to survive the night at Evertree Inn. Immerse yourself in the fully open and explorable tavern where your actions have real consequences. Play as any one of 5 races, each with their own unique abilities and dialogue options. Oh, that's neat. I didn't actually know that you had different dialogue options based on the race you pick. Ooh, that's cool. Overcome obstacles with brute strength, keen perception, natural cunning, and even magic. Battle with any weapon you can imagine, or unleash an impressive arsenal of spells. Boldly confront guests and staff, or lurk in the shadows as you uncover clues. Make enemies and friends, and maybe even find true love. Play as male, female, or non-binary. Play as gay, straight, bi, or asexual. And yeah, that's our game description. Since you can't actually see this anyway, I'm gonna keep playing on my phone and keep the chat open so that it auto reads messages as they come in, so I can respond to those quicker. I won't do that normally, but since you can't see it anyway, there's no point in being on the game screen since I'm reading from my phone. So let's begin. There are 2 of you. Ideally, there would be a third if there should be need to be a tie-breaking vote, but I suppose that I will maybe tie-break. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, we can figure this out. There is a sequel to this game. I don't know if we will jump directly into that after finishing that or something else. We will figure that out. That's going to be a while, so we'll figure that out. This game has 4.8 stars. With 1,000 ratings. That's unusually high for one of these, actually. Okay. So, prologue. Evertree Inn. How do I always end up in these situations? The thought runs through your mind. Yeah, for sure. The thought runs through your mind over and over again as you stare down at the body in front of you. So yeah, we jump straight in. It certainly wasn't how you planned on spending your evening. In fact, you didn't even really need to stay in... Yeah. You didn't even really need to plan to stay in this place at all. You could have kept walking, pushing on through the night. Hells, at any point, you could have stopped asking questions and gone to bed. But you didn't. Not before seeing the letter. You couldn't ignore it. Your curiosity was piqued. And now you're standing in front of a body. You hear a knock on the door. And as you turn, you catch your reflection in a mirror. So that's the first little passage here. We advance. What color are your eyes? Blue, brown, green, black, gray, something more unusual. So you can actually completely input your own color here if you would like to do so. So what color eyes do we want our protagonist to have? It's kind of weird to me that you initially, like, the first thing that you choose is your eye color. Like, you don't even know what race you are or gender or, like, things that typically seem to be more evocative of, like, your character and personality. But no, we're choosing eye color first. So that's an interesting decision, I feel like. That seems fair, actually. Yeah, switching off actually would make a lot of sense. Or having you both express and then choose. But switching off would make sense. I'm not sure if the chat is streaming. I'm guessing not, since um, you said you were only seeing a black screen. Sorry about that. But Two Big Chickens asks, should we switch off choosing, basically. Alright, somebody name a color. Alright. Yeah, somebody has said a brown, and that is at least a choice that is made. So your eyes are a deep and alluring brown, widening in the mirror as a voice calls out. Hello? Are you in there? Your heart starts to race as you return your attention to the body. How do I always end up in these situations? 3 hours ago. Well, it will have to do. It's certainly not much compared to what you've seen in the big cities, but this looks like as good a place as any to stop for the night. The sun is still just about visible over the mountains, and cast its orange glow on an endless expanse of green. You've been following the edge of the ancient first wood? Yeah. For 2 days now. And this is the first establishment that you've seen. Not that you don't have a perfectly good tent with you, but a comfy bed and a warm meal would sure be a nice welcome change. So you hitch your pony securely at the gate and make your way along the narrow path to the front door. Above your head swings a sign bearing a beautifully painted tree surrounded by the words Evertree Inn in large black letters. You check your coin purse. You have 10 gold. You only hope it's enough for dinner. So that was 3 hours ago, and now you're in front of a body. Cool. The inside of the tavern is built with a smooth oak wood that glows brown under the gentle warmth of many candles that line the walls. Brackets. The lobby contains no furniture, but for a counter behind which is standing a large woman wearing a grubby apron and scribbling into a ledger with a brilliant blue quill. Standing on a stool so that he can see over the top of the counter is a halfling. He appears to be checking in. Thank you, Mr. Brushgather, and this is your room key. You'll be staying in room 2. It's right up. I'm sure I'll find it. The halfling interrupts irritably. He grabs his key and hops down off the stool so quickly that he crashes right into you. Oops. What would you like to say in return? So you can say, my apologies, Mr. Brushgather. Or you could say, whoa, careful there. Or, hey, watch it. Or say nothing at all. So he seems kind of rude. But we don't really know much about him or why he might be that way. So I think GM, it is your choice on this. Let me get some water. Meet rudeness with rudeness. Okay. Oh no, wrong thing. So hey, watch it. Or whoa, careful there. There's two somewhat ruder options. Got it. Okay. We will tell him to watch it. Let me make sure that is checked. Okay. All right. Watch yourself, the halfling snaps back. Then he pushes past you, grabbing a single large traveler's pack, and heads up the stairs. The woman behind the counter watches the halfling leave, tutting and shaking her head before going back to the ledger. Without so much looking at you, she asks, welcome to Evertree, and my name is Lisa. Lisa Dupree. Yeah, Lisa Dupree. The owner and manager. And what can I do for you today, sir? Will you contradict her for addressing you as sir? Not at all. I am a man. No, I am a man, though when I was born, my family thought I was female. Yes, I am a woman. So yes, you can contradict her. Or, yes, when I was born, my family thought I was male, but I am a woman. Or, yes, I would prefer something non-binary. So are those options clear? I feel like I repeated something or something. But basically you have non-binary. You have, yes, you will contradict her because you were perceived male but are actually female. Or yes, you will contradict her because you are a woman. No, you are a man, or no, you were believed female but are actually male. TBC, I believe this is your choice. I'm going to answer a quick text and we'll choose your selection in a moment. Also, TBC, I'm not sure if you saw, but I posted my intended stream schedule um, on Twitter earlier today. Although it may. Dude who is actually a lady. All right. Um, this week will be a little bit inconsistent, but I do want to establish a pretty consistent schedule. Although I may have to change it, being as I'll be physically reading both of these games. I actually didn't plan on doing that, but I will figure that out. So the second option is actually you are a male, but you were believed to be female. Did you want that one, or did you want? Yeah, I hope you can too. That'd be really cool. Um, or did you want? Yes, you will contradict her because you are a woman. So basically, yeah. If I'm understanding what you want to take the you yes you will contradict her. Yeah, see, okay. No worries. Just wanted to make sure I didn't choose the wrong one. Okay. In that case, the blind GM, how would you like to be addressed by the staff at Evertree? You can choose Miss, or Ma'am, or My Lady, or I'll choose my own form of address. And if you guys ever want to, you are totally welcome to use the random options or the self-generated options. I will put whatever. I mean, I won't put anything like super obscene or PG-13. I mean, if you want to be like Sir Monkey Butt, I'll do that, but I'm not gonna do like anything hate speechy or weird. Not that you'd ask for that, but I want to establish, what I will and won't do pretty early on. So. All about my lady. All right. That's what we have chosen. So, yeah, it is sweet. She picks up her fabulous blue quill. Um, wait, is that really what this is? Yes, it sure is. Okay, it's a fabulous blue quill. I love it. And checks the next line of the enormous leather-bound ledger that sits on the counter. Race, she asks. I love that she kind of seems to speak very blandly. You pause. You're standing right in front of her, but she shows no sign of looking to see for herself, and so you are forced to answer. Human, which is the most prolific race in the land, and renowned for being neither excellent nor terrible at anything. Okay, so these are very D&D races. Okay, they are jacks of all trades. Humans come in all shapes and sizes. All right. Or you can say elf, mysterious and beautiful. Elves are revered by many for their natural attunement. My bad. Attunement to magic and their heightened senses. They are more honest and trusting than other races. I do not know if you can like choose a race and play against that race, or if you like damage your stat pool by doing that. I don't know. So I can't like advise you on that, unfortunately. You can be a dwarf. Sturdy and strong. Dwarves are natural born fighters. That's unusual. That seems a little unusual. At least in my experience with D&D and games like that. With a keen interest in all things material. They make shrewd in entrepreneurs. I've never seen that word written. Wow, cool. Sorry. But are stubborn and narrow-minded. Yes. Halflings. Small and agile, halflings resemble miniature humans. Standing. Okay, why did it skip that line? I don't know. Standing around 3 feet tall, they are one of the last magical races, but this they make up for with cunning and quick wits. Brownies. Elusive and timid, brownies are by far the rarest of the races. The same size as a halfling, they tend to shy away from fighting and rely on their spells and keen senses to stay out of trouble. Wow, the song that my roommate is listening to is very much not PG-13 in any way. So, like, if you guys can hear that, please let me know, because I will mute or do something, because wow. Whose turn is it to choose? It is TBC's turn to choose. So what race do you want to be? Or do you guys want to alternate choosing so that, because I'm worried if we fall into a pattern of like one person makes a choice and then one person ends up continually like modifying it, as we did with Woman and My Lady here. I think that's kind of a bad pattern for that's not very fun participation wise. So we'll see if that continues to be the pattern, and then I might recommend that we switch that off a little bit. But for now, TBC, what race would you like to have our character be? And also, if other people join and want to involve themselves in the selection process, feel free. I probably won't know that you're here if you don't, speak up in the chat. No, this is you guys' game. Dwarf is perfectly fine with me. And yeah, he says dwarf is good too, so we'll go with that. In my only playthrough of part of this game, I was an elf, so I'm really curious to see how the dialogue options change. So we will go with dwarf. All right. Mrs. Dupree does not look up, but as she writes, she mutters, Gilly'll be happy. I don't know who that is yet. She makes no mention as to whom. Yes, it might. TBC says it might be fun to collaborate on choices if they start feeling one-sided. That is true. I want to try to kind of move through this somewhat quickly, just because this is a fairly long game. So I don't want to spend 10 minutes on each choice, but giving a few minutes for people to give ideas that seems reasonable. So this is very much something that I'm still figuring out and playing by ear for sure. So any input that you guys have is totally welcome and very much appreciated. Yeah. So she makes no mention of to whom Gilly might be, and moves on to the next question. And your name, my lady? I still love giving her this fake. Anyway, she just seems so bored with this whole thing. Yep, very much still in beta. Ferndra, Fundra. So Fundra? Oh, I really hope we don't go with Fundra. I don't like it, but I will do it if you guys want. Olafi? Olafi? Or possibly Olafin? Hold on. Nope, that's an I. Olafi is how a voiceover says this. Suli. Or none of these is my name. So you can enter another name. Blind GM, I believe this one's your call. Also, you like the third one? Which one is that? Suli? I like prefer that one too. If I end up being off on whose turn it is, as is entirely possible, like please feel free to be like, no, actually, it's my turn. It won't be a problem. Um, I'm trying to keep it all straight, but I might not. So, Suli. That's what we will go with. Or do you want me to Suli or Suli? I can pronounce it whichever way. It's Suli. Okay, shrug. Okay, well, all right. Last name, please. What is your last name? I think you don't need that line there, but okay, whatever. Ooh. Art. Archeim? Archeim. Archeim? Archeim? Archeim. We're gonna go with Archeim. That sounds interesting. Olhelm, which is Olhelm. Raber, which is Reibor. Or I'll choose my own. And TBC, this one's yours. Oh, actually, nope, I'm sorry. Actually, I don't have a last name is also an option. All right, so Suli Olhelm is what we're going. Oh, okay, wait, I'll wait. Some copyright music is happening. I'm hoping I don't get in trouble for that. Probably not. Actually, I'm gonna mute for. Okay, we're gonna go for Olhelm. All right. Sulai, or yeah, we're gonna go Sulai. Sulai Olhelm. Can you tell me your sexual preference, please? Oh, all right. That's bald as heck. We're just checking in. We're just like gonna sleep here. I don't think you really need to know that, but okay. Your eyes widen, and the silence causes Mrs. Dupree to look up. Blind GM says there is no one alive who could comprehend my sexual preference. Well, all right. It says, "Oh, don't be so coy." She insists, irritably. Some of our rooms have shared or adjoining faculties, and I'll not have any hanky-panky in my establishment. Oh my god, this woman talks like an old southern. Okay, I can't deal with this. Give me a second. Oh, alright, that's so bad. She seems genuinely serious. So, what will you tell her? You can say, I'm interested in men. I'm interested in women. I'm an equal opportunist. I have absolutely no intention of committing any acts of hanky-panky. And that's all. I think that third option will put you into an asexual framework, though. Just so you know, it's not. I don't think it's just a dialogue option. I think it will lock you into a preference. So, I forgot whose turn it is. So let's see. I think it's the blind. Yeah. So, GM, it is your preference. Well, I mean, yes, not an option though. We gotta choose one of these options. Um, so option three. I'm an equal opportunity. I'm an equal opportunist. Okay, we will go with that. Mrs. Dupree narrows her eyes at you with, for some reason, as she scrawls your answer into her book, like word for word, or is she editorialized? Okay, I don't know. That's weird. Um, her eyes flick to the quiver on your back, and she asks, "And are you carrying any weapons?" With you today? Are you carrying any other weapons with you today? Like any traveler, you carry a bow for hunting, but you do also carry a melee weapon. What is it? So you can choose a long sword, which is simple yet effective, although it does make spell casting more difficult. A spear, an elegant weapon that makes up in versatility what it lacks in strength. A magical staff, a flashy weapon to augment my magical abilities. A dagger, perfect for sneaky attacks if I'm up close. Or actually, I carry a... No, surely you cannot enter your own weapon here. Yeah, so there does seem to be there does seem to be the option to enter your own weapon here, which I don't really understand how that's going to work as far as stat balancing, but it's there. So, or there's actually, I don't have a melee weapon. I don't know. You can do a lot. The blind GM says, no one who has ever used a sword of any kind could call it simple but effective. It is at best only the latter. I mean, I don't know. There are. I think in that time period, there are definitely, more or less ornate swords. But TBC, what weapon are we going to be using? It is 6:26. I probably will. One second. I think number 3 was the staff. Let me check really quick. Oh no, number 3 is the magical staff. So there's a sword, there's a spear, a staff, a dagger, the seeming option to enter your own weapon, or I don't have a melee weapon. So there's 6 options. I need to see if I can find Tom. Oh crap, Bailey. I think his name was on Twitter. They may not be a him. I should not presume that, but and tweet that we are doing their game. Dagger. Okay. Sneaky attacks up close. Okay, that's what we will go with. All right. I'll probably end up going around 7 my time, which is in about half an hour. Not certain of that, but just for a heads up. I'd like to try to at least finish character creation today, so that's the intention here. So just so long as you don't use it on the premises. Mrs. Dupree finishes writing in her ledger and then looks up at you with her final question. So how long you planning to stay? How long you plan on staying? One night, you reply firmly, without, or with absolute certainty. Yeah, there's definitely no way we'll end up staying more than one night for sure. Right? Yeah. The city of Lux is only a day away, and you can't afford any further delays. All right, so I don't know why we're in a hurry, but we clearly are. You find yourself reflecting on the road that brought you to this moment. You couldn't tell any of this to Mrs. Dupree, but this journey is more important than any you have ever made. For the first time in 2 years, you feel as though you might have a shot at something better. A shot at the life you thought you were going to live before it all went wrong. The thought of your past brings an ache to your stomach. In the beginning, it was all full of promise and potential. You were extraordinarily gifted in the magical arts for someone so young. Radio button. I'm sorry, that is one of the choices. So this is your background. So you were extremely gifted in magical talents for someone so young. Or you may have been on the wrong side of the law, but you were making money. Or a true athlete, you were constantly winning local tournaments and jousts. Growing up in nature taught you how to survive in even the harshest conditions. All right, so blind GM, that one's your choice. What is your background? Are you used to... Okay, we were a criminal. Interesting. All right. And now we have a dagger. I feel like that goes with our furtive option earlier, honestly, as well. So, all right. Growing up on the streets of Blackstone. Yeah, exactly. Hey, we have a dagger. Let's get the most out of it, he says, for sure. So, growing up on the streets of Blackstone had hardly been an easy life, but you learned how to survive and even build a reputation for yourself. As soon as you could walk, you could run from the law. As soon as you could talk, you could con an innocent tourist out of his coin purse. And by the time you were reaching adulthood, you had been in more street brawls than you could remember. And you had bigger dreams than just those of a petty crook. You were going to use... You were going to use your magical talents to ascend the ranks of the aristocracy, is the one option. Or you were going to turn your hand to the art of killing and become a famous assassin. I feel like famous assassin is a contradiction that you probably should not be. All right, but that's one of the options. You plan to join an infamous guild of information brokers. Or you were going to become... you were going to become the world's Most notorious thief. TBC, I think this one's yours. So why did we become a thief and what were we going to do with it? We could... Yeah, there are a couple of really compelling options here. Yeah, I mean, a magical thief would be kind of cool, or the famous assassin, or the information guild. These are all pretty cool options. Or just becoming notorious thief. GM, do you have a preference? She's leaning towards the info guild, but has some. Yeah, that would kind of be consistent. It also would give us an extra resource that we could use to fight our way out of or solve whatever problems if we end up getting magic, instead of kind of having a few different options. Okay, so TBC says she also likes. I think I saw on your Twitter that you use she/her. I don't know if that's true though. But TBC says that sounds good. So we will go with, you want to ascend the ranks of the aristocracy with magic. Interesting. This is an interesting character. We also can carry this character over to the sequel game. So, this is a multi-useful character. You'd always had a knack for magic, and combining that with your already considerable skills at lying and deception had made you a formidable confidence trickster. With your unique and subtle gifts, you plan to work your way up the social ladder, possibly all the way to the top. All right, so you're quite ambitious. And then the fire happened. You still don't know how it started. It was the night that you became an adult. And while your family had all retired early, you had taken the opportunity to stay out late with your friends and do what all races do once they reach such an age. So you're kind of a delinquent, and your family's basically gone home early, and now there's a fire. But as you returned home, you began to get a feeling that something wasn't right. And then you heard a sound. It was a cry, which turned into more cries, which turned into screams for help. The black sky was lit up by a hellish red and filled with smoke. Your home was an inferno, and the occupants, your mother and father, your 2 younger siblings, they were all trapped inside. You had no time to think, no time to consider the risk. You could only act. You leapt through the flames and raced straight for the one member of your family you knew you could never live without. So, because this is actually a timed choice in the game, I will actually insist that we make this one pretty much within a minute or so. Since the blind GM did actually choose our last one, let's let TBC do this one. So, first thing that you feel sort of compelled to say. So, who do you save? Your father, or your mother, or my brother, or my sister? Yeah, okay. The blind GM says he was going to also make the suggestion of, since he chose this one, switching off, so good. TBC says sister. All right. You had always been closest to your sister. She was the light of your life, always smiling. But when uh but when you found her, she could not have been more different. She screamed for help as she attempted to pull your father free from the burning debris that had fallen onto his leg. You stepped in to help, but even with the rubble gone, your father was barely able to walk. You hoisted him onto your shoulder and began to carry him through the burning house. Your sister was supposed to be right behind you. You were practically outside when you looked back to check that she was still there, but she was nowhere to be seen. The house came crashing down behind you, and it was all over. You and your father were the only survivors. So yeah, whichever one you actually pick there, I did know that from the only little playthrough I'd done of this, you actually can't save that one. So, but that is important later on. So that was a worthwhile choice. After that, you had to give up on your old plans. Your father had survived, but his injuries, yeah. TBC says, "Oh, come on, yeah." You don't always get the choice you want here. Your father had survived, but his injuries had left him unable to walk, and so it fell to you to take care of him. You could no longer go off chasing your dreams, and though you missed your little sister more than you could say, there was no time to grieve. You had to step up and become responsible. You'd lost everything in the fire, and without any other relatives, you were out on the streets with no money and no shelter. You spent a grueling 2 years doing whatever it took to survive, many things of which you were not proud. Many things of which you were not proud. You began to build. Oh, TB said this is so hitting home for me. Yeah, it can be rough. You began to build some sort of a life among the poor of Blackstone until finally an opportunity came your way. A chance to escape the poverty and perhaps get back the life you had wanted before the fire. So the reason you were passed the reason you passed by Evertree Inn was to get to the port city of Lux. The reason you were going to Lux was, and here you can say, to seek employment as a bodyguard, or to try to earn a magical scholarship, to get work on a merchant vessel and head out to sea, or to rob from the richest snobs in the Empire. All right, so those are your choices there. GM, I believe that one's your choice. All right, we are robbing the rich snobs of the empire. Um, no one's pockets were better lined than those of the wealthy merchant families of Lux, and none more so than Lord Luca? Yeah, Luca Imperion. You had heard that his vault contained more gold than one man could count in a lifetime. And you plan to make at least a small part of that your own. So, leaving your father back in the Blackstone in the safe hands of a few trusted friends, you packed your bags and set out to turn your life around. We are advised now that we can explore the show stats screen to get an overview of our character's stats and weaknesses, as well as information on relationships and clues as we discover them. Do we want to do that now, or do we want to carry on? Alright, well, we're going to look at the stats. Yeah, okay. I'm going to take a look at the stats here. So, yeah, okay. Both people say let's take a look. So, our name is Suli Olhelm. We are a dwarf who uses a dagger. Combat is at 50%. Guile is at 55%. Perception is at 5%. Wow, that's really bad. Magic is at 35%. Gold, we have 7. So I guess we spent 3 gold on the inn room. Thanks for telling us that. Gosh. We have 50 mana. And we are in full health with no warnings. We are told that suspects with a higher relationship rating will be more cooperative. We know that the owner is Lisa, and we have a 20% respect rating from her, which is not great, but she was not a nice person, so. All of the rest of the suspects are unknown, and they are at 10%, so I guess that's like the... Oh, we actually raised Lace's then, in that case, because all the rest of them are at 10%, and Lace's at 20%. Okay. So she liked us, even though she was not particularly kind. Cool. We have 15 unknown clues to find. Our backstory is we grew up in Blackstone, the oldest of 3 in a family of dwarfs, constantly getting in trouble with the law. Our true goal in life was always to become an infamous I don't know that word. Basically an infamous thief. Okay. So when a fire destroyed our family home, you and your father were the only survivors, and we were forced to start over again, living on the streets. It all seemed so hopeless until we learned of an opportunity in a far-off city where we could get our life back on track. And so, with nothing to our name but our pony, our trusty dagger, and a lockpick in our belt, we set out on the road to Lux, which is how we ended up at Evertree Inn, which seemed like a good place to stop for the night. We can see hints for a guide for the Evertree Inn stat system, but it looks like it's really similar to D&D, so depending on how familiar you guys are with that, it may not be necessary. I will probably also read our little backstory thing again at the start of the next stream, just for anybody who was not tuned into this one. Yeah, the blind GM says he's never heard of D&D. I mean, yeah, well, I don't think I believe you, but being as that is how we met in part, so yeah. Let's see if we have any achievements so far. I would be sort of surprised if we did. Okay, we established a backstory for our character, for which we got 5 points of 5 achievement points. There are still 35 achievements to unlock, including 35 hidden achievements. Do you want me to read the achievement list so we know what we can work towards, or just kind of stumble on these kind of by accident? For the Panpara playthrough, I am explicitly trying... I don't want to see those because I think there are probably spoilers. But for this one, I will read them if you guys want to know them. Okay. So the blind GM says he doesn't want to know, but if TBC wants to know, he can tune out. And I have him on Skype, so I can send him a Skype message when we're back up. That's not a problem. Okay, TBC says she is also happy to be surprised, so we will not look at those. Alright, can you, I'm happy to use whatever pronouns you want, but I'd like to know at least something I can use, so I don't have to wonder if I'm using the wrong ones every time I say your pronouns. Okay, cool. She, her. So that's what we will use for you. Okay. My lady, you snap out of your recollections to see Mrs. Dupree holding out her wonderful blue quill for you to hit. He or it, says the blind GM. Okay, I can call you it. That's fine. But we do know each other, so there is a little bit more. The tone is a little bit different. I'm not gonna like tease people until I know that that's comfortable for people. So yeah. So we get to use the fabulous blue quill to sign this ledger. Yay! As you do so, she starts to explain a little more about that for which you are signing. It's 2 gold pieces for the room. Breakfast included. Dinner tonight is an additional 1 gold. Servings in an hour. Listen for the gong, and that'll be in the room to the right here. Wait, what? I think it skipped a line. Serve. Oh, no, okay. So the dinner will be served in the room to the right here. Okay. She gestures to your left. I hope that... Okay. The menu tonight is a game stew with mixed vegetables and a flagon of ale. It's one of our cook's specialties. Yeah, that is very typical fare. Does not sound very special. She turns around to grab a key and then passes it to you. Your room will be number 1. It's at the top of the stairs. And then all the way around and all the way around and along on the right, opposite the... She stops seeing your dazed expression. Yeah, so she's just bombarded you with a lot of information here. And we have an advance button, so we're going to click that. Let me get you a map. That'll be easier. Okay, yeah, that is easier. She reaches for a box that must have once contained maps, but is now empty. She looks around at the rest of the... Yeah, Blind GM says prices were much more reasonable for rooms and things in his day, and you got someone to get you a barmaid to keep the bed warm. So unfortunately things have deteriorated. So she looks around at the rest of the desk and then grabs a blank piece of scrap paper, onto which she sketches a rough layout of the ground and upper floor of the building, revealing that the upstairs has a total of 6 rooms. This will be important. So the upstairs has 6 rooms. The downstairs has a dining room located through the door to your left, as well as a kitchen, larder, and 3 more rooms which must belong to Mrs. Dupree and the staff. It's not a big place, and the layout is not nearly as complicated as Mrs. Dupree was making it seem. But still, you take the map and put it in your pocket. Right then, Mrs. Dupree finishes. Keep the noise down. Keep out of other people's business. And above all, have a nice, relaxing night here at Evertree Inn. Now, before you head up to your room, is there anything else I can help you out with? Do you have any further questions for Mrs. Dupree? So we can ask her how long Evertree Inn has been open. We can ask her, your rooms are very cheap. Is there a sale on? We can ask her, I don't suppose anyone could give me a hand with my bags? Are there many other guests staying here? Or what should I do about my pony? Or I'm all done asking questions. So the way the question system works usually is that you can ask all of these questions in whatever order you want. And oftentimes the answer to one question tends to lead to other paths of questions. So other dialogue options or even other encounters. I believe, for example, if you choose one of these, you can interact with another NPC here. But I think this is actually going to be a long, a long section of things, and I am honestly getting a little bit tired of reading. So now that we have established our character and our relationship with Mrs. Dupree, I think we are going to maybe stop here unless somebody really, really wants the answer to one of these questions right now, and come back a little bit later to get all of this information, um, and move on to exploring this inn and figuring out why there is a dead body here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, though. I've actually really enjoyed this. Yeah, TBC says no worries, we can pick this up later. It's great. I'm really glad you think so. I'd appreciate it if you could tell people about it and share it because I would love to see more audience participation here. Um, I may alternate. I'm probably going to end up alternating days, which I didn't know that I needed to do on this one. So I will be more on top of. No, the comments from the Peanut Gallery are very welcome. They add a fun touch to the stream. I feel like. Definitely love the participation, but I will be a little bit more engaged next time because I will have not just read a bunch of other things. So, yeah, hopefully that will be a little bit less, I don't know, intensive. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in and for participating. I really do appreciate it. And we will be back here. I'm not sure when. TBC says she loves the banter. I'm not really sure precisely when. I typically will want to do Wednesdays and Sundays, but this Sunday I will have company. So it is unclear yet whether I will be streaming. I will post it on Twitter. I will announce it. I'll let people know. If not, I'll definitely be back here at the latest on next Wednesday. But I'll probably do something before then, even if it's just streaming an audio game or something like that. So, yeah, this has been cool. I appreciate you guys so much. I look forward to doing more with you. So, see you guys soon. I will also try to fix the visual issues for next time as well.